Disclaimer. The following is a what-if fan-fictional piece. This franchise along with its characters are the rightful property of Spyglass Media Group, and all other respected companies. Hope you enjoy this story.
It's been 2 years since the events in Scream 6, and Sydney, Gale, and the Carpenter sisters have been living their lives, trying to move on with their lives. Feeling guilty over the death of her ex-husband Dewey, the retired sheriff, Gale has moved back to Woodsboro to continue her career as a field reporter. Sydney lives in a small town in Southern California where she started her career as a novelist writing original horror stories, and as for the Carpenter sisters, they too had decided to move back to Woodsboro, where they chose to work at a local vet clinic and animal shelter. Our story begins at a modest suburban home. A man named David Jones prepares for movie night with his wife, who is out picking up some takeout. Suddenly, David's landline starts ringing. The call is from an unknown number.
Hello?
Hi. I'm looking for Lacey. We met in group.
Oh. Sorry she's out right now. But I can take a message for her.
David replies as relief washes over him. Actually, I'd wanted to get her opinion on the new Stab movie. Not sure if you're aware, but we enjoy talking about scary movies.
You know, funny enough, we're just about to watch the new Stab once she gets back.
Oh yeah. So you love scary movies too, or did Lacey have to make a fan out of you?
Actually, I've always been a fan. It's one of the few things we have in common.
Aw, that's so cute. So tell me,
what's your favorite scary movie?
Who is this?
I'm the ghost of Christmas past, David.
Real funny asshole. I'm not playing this game with you. Get a life, loser.
David hangs up the landline, but it starts ringing again immediately afterwards.
Hello?
Listen, you scumbag piece of shit. Hang up on me again and maybe, just maybe, Lacey won't make it to movie night.
I swear if you lay a single finger on her,
you're gonna play a little game with me and enjoy it. Now, it's quite simple. I'm gonna ask you a few horror movie trivia questions. Get them right, you and Lacey can have your little happily ever after. Get them wrong, you go back to being a solo player.
Why are you doing this?
Are you ready?
You better hope I don't find you.
First question. In the second Stab movie, which returning character gets killed off?
Oh, Randy Meeks.
Correct. In Halloween Kills, what horrible, sad truth did Laurie Strode learn as to why she was attacked by Michael Myers?
Oh shit.
Oh shit is what your wife will be screaming if you don't get this question right. She's depending on you, David.
She learns that she was never the primary target. That Michael kills anyone in his line of vision. For no reason. He doesn't need a motive. Right?
Correct. You may be the first and only one who wins this game. I'm impressed. Third question. In Friday the 13th, Part 5, who was the killer?
Roy. Roy is the killer because his son was murdered by a psycho with an axe.
There, see? Was that so hard? You actually got all 3 questions right.
I got you son of a bitch. Now leave me and my wife alone.
Not so fast there, tough guy. There's always a bonus round in this game. Bonus question. Double or nothing. Get this one right, you're good to go. Get it wrong, no more movie nights. Ever.
Bring it on.
In Halloween 3, Season of the Witch, Michael Myers makes an appearance. True or false?
False.
Oh, David. Guess Lacey won't make it to movie night after all.
No, I got it right, asshole. Because Season of the Witch wasn't about Michael at all. I've seen it 100 times.
If that's true, smart guy, then you should know about the scene where the hero's tied up wearing a silver shamrock Halloween mask while being forced to watch the first Halloween.
David facepalms in disappointment.
Tell you what, David. I got another bonus question for you. What if I told you that Lacey never made it out of the house?
David runs to the front door. Once he opens the door, he sees Lacey's car is on the driveway.
What the hell?
Which room is your wife in? David.
Ghostface asks in a very sinister tone. Instead of answering, David makes his way upstairs to the master bedroom. The doors are closed, so David approaches slowly and cautiously. He gulps and takes a deep breath before opening the door. With the look of horror, shock, and heartbreak, David finds Lacey's lifeless, bloody corpse on his bed.
Lacey.
He screams before getting stabbed in the neck from behind by Ghostface, who emerges from the shadows, revealing his hideous, aged mask.
Merry Christmas, David. Ho, ho, ho.
Ghostface says with his voice box on as to not reveal their true identity. The very next day, Gale Weathers arrives at the vet clinic, an animal shelter where the Carpenter sisters work. Gale is greeted by the receptionist.
Hi. Gale Weathers, right?
Yes, hi. Is Sam Carpenter in today?
Yes, she is.
May I speak with her, please? It's very important.
The receptionist nods and goes to get Sam. When Sam comes out to meet with Gale, they greet with a warm smile and embrace each other.
So, Sam, do you got a minute?
Yeah, sure. We can sit in my office, more or less.
Sam leads Gale to a doctor's office with the doors closed for their privacy.
Okay. So what's up?
Do you know David Jones?
Gale inquires, and Sam hesitates for a moment, and after what felt like an eternity, and with a single tear trickling down her cheek, she finally responds.
He was my father. Well, actually, my stepfather before he left us.
Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to.
Gale reaches for Sam's hand, offering comfort and support while Sam continues.
No. It's okay. After I confronted my mother with the truth I had discovered in her diary, David had also learned of this truth. He didn't know till I found out. Why do you ask?
Last night, both he and his wife were attacked by someone wearing a mask, just like you and I. I just wanted to make sure you were okay, and that you knew. I'm not here to cause you any more pain, but if you need someone to talk to, I'm here for you.
Sam nods and looks at Gale with a mix of gratitude and surprise.
It's happening again. It just never ends. Does it?
I'm sorry, but you're strong. You survived it twice, and you can do it again.
You don't understand. He was my father. The only father figure I ever knew. Better than my real father, Billy Loomis. And now, he's gone.
Tears begin to flow freely from Sam's eyes as she struggles to maintain her composure.
I'm sure the rumors of me being the killer are swarming all over social media by now.
She sniffs, wiping away tears.
They never believed me when I said I was innocent. I can only imagine what they're saying now.
Gale reaches out and squeezes Sam's hand reassuringly.
It's not your fault. You were just a child. You didn't deserve any of this.
Sam looks at Gale and nods, slowly starting to compose herself.
Thank you. For understanding. For being here. I'll be okay. I just need some time.
Okay, Sam. I'll leave you to grieve and process. I gotta make a call, but I'm always available when you need a friend.
Thanks again, Gale. I should let Tara know about this too.
Gale nods with a warm smile before making her exit, and on the way to her car, she pulls out her phone to make a call to Sydney Prescott. Somewhere in Southern California, Sydney was out with her little girls enjoying their day at a local park when Sydney feels her phone buzz in her pocket. She holds it up, so see the call is coming from Gale.
Hey Gale. You're calling me. Is everything alright?
Yeah. I mean, not really. I don't know. There's been another attack. And this time it's David Jones, Sam's stepfather. I thought you should know.
Oh my god. Is she okay?
No. She's not. She's taking it pretty hard. The poor thing blames herself. I don't know what to do.
Listen Gale. You did the right thing calling me. I'm gonna come out there. We'll figure this out together.
Okay. You sure about this, Sydney?
I'm on my way. See you soon, Gale.
Sydney hangs up the phone and turns to her girls.
Hey sweeties. Auntie Gale needs some help with something, so I'm gonna go visit her for a little while, and leave you with Daddy, okay?
Her girls nod.
It's happening again, isn't it, Sid?
Afraid so, honey.
Okay. Please be careful, sweetheart. Come back to us safe.
As Sydney gets into her car, she can't help but feel a knot in her stomach. The thought of what Sam must be going through right now is unbearable. She recalls her own experiences with loss and trauma and knows that there are no easy answers. Later that day, Sam heads home after her shift. She calls her sister, Tara, letting her know what's happened, and they both decide to spend the night at her place. As they sit together on the couch, Sam breaks down in tears once more.
I can't believe this is happening again, Tara. I just can't.
Tara wraps her arms around her sister, trying to comfort her.
I know it's hard, Sam. But you're strong. We've been through this before, and we'll get through it again.
Suddenly, Sam's phone starts ringing. She looks at the screen and sees that it's Sydney.
It's Sydney. I wonder why she's calling me.
She answers the phone, trying to compose herself.
Hello?
Sam, it's Sydney. I'm so sorry about what happened to David. I just wanted to let you know that you're not alone in this.
Sydney's voice crackles through the phone, and Sam can hear the concern and understanding in it.
I know how it feels to lose someone close to you. To be blamed for something you didn't do.
Sam listens intently as Sydney continues to share her own experiences, and the two women find solace in each other's stories.
Sydney. Where are you?
I'm on my way into town.
Sydney, no. You've gotten your happy ending, and deservingly so.
Sam does her best to insist that Sydney should just stay with her family, but Sydney is having none of it.
And you deserve yours too, Sam. We're gonna get this asshole. Or assholes.
There's a pause before Sam responds.
Okay. I'll see you when you get here.
After the call ends, Sam's phone rings again. This time the contact ID shows the call is coming from David Carpenter.
Oh no!
You gonna answer that?
I have to. Tired of running.
Sam responds, determined and irritated with the situation.
Who the hell is this?
Oh, let's just say I'm the ghost of Christmas past, Samantha.
Look, motherfucker. We've been through this. Fucking time. And time again.
Oh, don't I know it? You, your sister, and Sydney have taken so much from me. And you will pay for all the damage you've caused, you murderer.
Try me, bitch. We're not running.
With pleasure.
And with that, Ghostface bursts into the living after kicking the closet door open. The room fills with the smell of cheap, plastic Halloween masks and dirty laundry.
I've been waiting for this moment. I've been waiting for you.
Ghostface shouts as they charge at Sam, who instinctively ducks and rolls to the side. Tara runs into the kitchen. There's a sickening crunch as Ghostface's shoulder connects with the wall. Sam takes advantage of the moment and rushes at Ghostface, throwing a powerful roundhouse kick to the side of their head. Ghostface stumbles backwards, giving Sam enough time to dart toward the kitchen and grab a heavy, sharp knife from the block.
Tara! Stay here.
Sam tells her sister, who nods in agreement.
Give them hell, Sam.
Call the cops.
Sam requests, and Tara does as she's told with her phone. Sam makes her way back to the living room, readying herself for battle with the deadly Ghostface killer, but to her surprise, they were gone, nowhere to be seen, or so it would appear. Suddenly, Ghostface rushes Sam, and the two are wrestling around till finally they both get to their feet, and Ghostface has their back to the kitchen where Tara came running to crash a vase on the back of Ghostface's head, causing them to stumble towards Sam, who uses the killer's own momentum to throw them out through a window next to the front door. Sam rushes to Tara's side to check on her as sirens can be heard approaching Tara's home.
Are you okay?
Sam asks Tara, who's still reeling from the adrenaline of the fight. Tara nods, wiping sweat from her forehead.
Yeah, I'm okay. Thanks for having my back.
Sam nods reassuringly with a warm yet quick smile when their moment get interrupted by doorbell ringing and knocking on the door. Sam gets the door with Tara alongside.
Hey Sam. You girls alright?
It's Danny, Sam's boyfriend she met during her stay in New York, who's now the current sheriff deputy.
Yeah, Danny, we're fine. Just a little scratched up, that's all.
Sam answers, motioning for him to come in. Danny steps inside and looks at Tara with concern.
You sure you're okay?
Tara nods, her grip on Sam's hand tightening.
I'm fine, Danny. Thanks.
They told me it might be a conflict of interest given our personal relationship, but you're worth risking my badge over Sam.
Sam grins at Danny with appreciation and gratitude when it hits her.
Oh. Danny. Ghostface. Didn't you see him on the front yard?
She asks as she checks the yard for the body, but sees nothing, like as if he's disappeared in plain sight.
No, Sam. They were already gone when we arrived.
Damn it, of course they're gone.
I'm sure we'll find them, don't worry.
Danny assures her, but she can see the doubt in his eyes. They stand together in the living room, both lost in thought, as the paramedics check Tara out and the police search the house for any remaining clues.
Look, it's probably not safe for you two to stay here. Why don't you pack up and stay at a friend's place? I'll see if the sheriff and I can provide some armed guards for you all.
Yeah. That sounds like a good idea, Danny. Thanks.
Sam nods. She looks over at her sister, who's still shaken up from the attack, but trying to maintain a brave front.
Come on, Tara. Let's go get all settled in at Mindy's place.
Mindy Meeks, the niece of the late movie nerd Randy Meeks. Danny and the police continue their search for the Ghostface killer. They comb through every inch of the house, but find no clues or evidence that could lead them to the assailant. It's as if they were never at the Carpenter house at all. The more Danny thinks about it, the more he can't help but wonder if there's something supernatural at play here. He decides to bring up his suspicions with his partner, and they both decide to investigate further into the matter.
I don't know, Dan. Odds are they could be wearing some protective armor of some kind.
Or maybe they just had the element of surprise on their side. We'll have to look into it.
Okay, babe. Tara and I are on our way to Mindy's. I'll text you her address.
Sam informs Danny before the two exchange quick kisses on each other's cheeks. Sam and Tara get into the car, with Tara in the passenger seat. As they pull away from the house, Sam glances over at her sister.
You're really going to be okay?
She asks with genuine concern. Tara nods, but she looks like she's still shaken up.
I'll be fine. Just, why does this keep happening to us? When are we going to be able to lead normal lives, Sam?
The ride to Mindy's takes about 20 minutes, and during that time, Sam tries her best to keep Tara's mind off of the attack. They talk about old times, about their favorite movies, and even about their plans for the future. But the whole way there, Sam can't shake the feeling that something is still very wrong. They finally arrive and are settled in at Mindy's, and Chad, who is Mindy's brother and also is Tara's boyfriend, is there doing his best to comfort Tara as Mindy goes over the rules of this movie the sisters living in this time.
This is your requel trilogy, very similar to Sydney's trilogy. Well, before her cousin Jill snapped due to her jealousy over Sydney's fame. Sydney was almost murdered by her half-brother Roman Bridger, who had real severe mommy issues.
So what you're saying is, we may be stalked by a missing family member or something?
It's a strong possibility. I wouldn't rule that out. Also, any one of us in the Core 4 may not make it this time. Our luck can only run for so long.
The group exchange glances at each other before Mindy reveals the final rule.
Finally, we could lose another legacy character.
Like Sydney or Gale?
Sam says aloud with a mixture of sadness and disappointment. The group decided to call it a night so the Carpenter sisters can put the day behind them. The very next morning, there's a ringing from the doorbell, so Mindy answers the door with Sam alongside of her. It was two officers informing the two women that they are there to help provide 24-hour surveillance on the house as per the request of the sheriff.
Oh, and you have a visitor.
One of the officers said before the two step aside to reveal the visitor is Sydney Prescott herself.
Oh my God. Sydney.
Hi, Sam.
Sydney replies as the two embrace each other.
And you must be Mindy. Your Uncle Randy was one of my best friends.
That be me. Wow, this is a real honor. Please, make yourself a home. I'm sure you two have some catching up to do.
Mindy says very hospitably before leaving the room.
I appreciate you coming, Sydney. But you really didn't have to.
Well, too late. I'm already here.
Sydney jokes, trying to lighten the mood.
So, tell me what's been going on.
Well, as you know, my stepfather and his wife were murdered. And then last night, Tara and I were attacked. Someone broke into the house and almost killed us.
Sam tells Sydney, still visibly shaken by the events. Sydney listens intently, her eyes wide with concern.
I'm so sorry to hear that. I can't even begin to imagine what you must be going through.
She says, putting a comforting hand on Sam's shoulder.
But you know I'm here for you, and so are your friends.
I just don't want to end up like my father, Sydney. I don't want to kill anyone. Anymore. I'm afraid of what I could become.
Sam, you're not your father. And you're not the person those losers on social media want you to be. Take it from experience. As someone who dated your father before I found out who he truly was. You possess the one thing he never had. A good heart. You have a gift, Sam. You may have that rage. That urge to kill. But you have the power to control it. You're able to use it when the time is right. To defend yourself. To protect your sister. Your friends. You are Samantha Carpenter. Not Billy Loomis.
Sydney's words comfort Sam, and she takes a deep breath, trying to calm herself.
Thank you, Sydney. I needed to hear that. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to make this all about me.
Sydney waves her hand dismissively.
It's okay. That's what friends are for. To listen. To help each other through tough times. As long as you have my back, Sam, I will have yours.
That goes for us too, Sam.
Tara says as she and Chad enter the living room, having overheard the end of the conversation.
We're all in this together. We've got your back.
And me too.
Sydney looks around the room, taking in the group of friends that Sam has surrounded herself with.
I'm glad you have such a supportive group here. It's important to remember that you are not alone in this.
Sam nods, feeling a little more hopeful.
So, what's the plan for today?
Sam asks, eager to focus on something other than the recent attacks.
Well, I was thinking we could go for a walk. Maybe get some fresh air. Or maybe we could all just hang out here. Watch a movie. Anything to take your mind off things for a little while.
I'd love to join you guys on whatever you decide, but unfortunately, I gotta get ready for my shift. I'm glad I got to meet you, Sydney. It's a real honor to meet a legend like you.
Oh, you're too kind, Mindy.
Sydney blushes a little.
Yo, Sam. Tara and I were thinking about hanging out at the park. How about you and Sydney come with us?
If you want, Sam, you can invite Danny too.
Tara suggests, playfully trying to get a laugh out of Sam.
I would, but Danny has the day shift today.
Danny?
He's my boyfriend. The sheriff deputy.
Sydney's eyes widen slightly.
A man in uniform. Smart girl.
Sydney nods with approval. Meanwhile, Mindy is driving to her job site. She's a security guard at a junkyard, and unfortunately she works on the weekends. 7 hours later, as the sun starts to set on this cool December evening, she gets a call on her phone, and it's from an unknown number.
Hello?
Hey, is that you, Mindy?
Hey, Danny? Yeah, it's me. What's up? Is everything all right?
Well, I'm not sure. You see, I just got a call from Sam. She's really upset. Someone just attacked her again. This time at a park.
Danny says, his voice tense with worry.
They spray-painted murderer on her shirt. I told her I'd come and get you. We could go back to the station and file a report.
Mindy feels her stomach drop. She knows she should go, but she can't help feeling guilty about leaving her post at the junkyard.
Oh my God. Okay, I'll be right there.
She says as she gathers her things, and as she steps out of her guard shack, Ghostface appears out of nowhere, stabbing Mindy right below the ribcage twice, causing her to scream out in pain. Mindy manages to punch Ghostface in the face trying to run her car, but her injuries have slowed her steps, allowing Ghostface to catch up to her and knock her on the ground.
Fuck you.
But Mindy, I'm the ghost of Christmas present. I'm the gift that keeps on giving.
Ghostface says with their voice box activated, concealing their true identity. They then start stabbing Mindy multiple times in her stomach. Mindy was still alive, but barely, as she is coughing up a lot blood. Ghostface picks her up and hoists her over their shoulder.
I'll give you one thing, Mindy. You're much smarter than your dead uncle.
Ghostface teases as they carry Mindy over to a nearby trash compactor.
Now, time for your crushing defeat.
Ghostface says as he places Mindy's blood-covered body inside the compactor, then he turns the machine on by pressing the red button. The compactor starts to slowly compact Mindy's body until it's just a small, bloody mess. Ghostface steps back, watching with satisfaction as what is left of Mindy's life is crushed out of her. A few hours later, Chad notices that his sister Mindy has yet to come from work.
Guys, it's not like Mindy to be out this late.
Maybe she's working late.
She would have sent a text, babe.
Chad responds.
We should probably go check out the junkyard.
Chad opens the front door, ready to go, only to find Gale and Danny standing at the door with the look of sadness on their faces.
Sam. Chad.
Danny starts struggling to find the right word.
There was an attack at the junkyard.
Gale finishes his sentence.
What? No.
Chad shouts.
Mindy.
Sam asks. Danny shakes his head slowly.
We found her ID. And some of her clothes.
Oh God. No.
Sam falls to her knees and starts to cry. Chad looks at Danny with anger and disbelief.
This is all your fault, Danny! If you hadn't gotten involved, she would still be alive.
Danny tries to explain, but Chad doesn't want to hear it.
You just stay away from us from now on.
Chad, please!
Sam cries out as she gets back to feet to hug Danny.
Baby, I'm sorry. I should have been there sooner.
Danny says with guilt and disappointment in himself.
No, Dan. Don't blame yourself. It's not your fault.
Chad, taking a moment to read the room, takes a deep breath to calm himself so he can apologize to the deputy.
Dan. Man. I'm sorry. I know you did your best.
No worries, Chad. Right now, all I want to do is stop this fucker.
Gale looks over at Sydney.
Oh my God. Sid.
Hey Gale. It's good to see you. So what happened?
It's Mindy. They found her.
Oh no.
We need to go. Now.
I'll stay with you, Gale. We'll give you guys time to grieve, but stay alert. I strongly suggest that the deputy stays with you tonight. We need to find this asshole. And stop them.
Gale drives both her and Sydney to her place. Sydney starts to question Gale about her latest book.
Surprised you've never wrote a book about the New York murders, Gale.
Actually, I did. I just couldn't publish it. Maybe it's my advanced age. Or that I was hearing Dewey's voice in my subconscious. Or all those punches I've taken. Or all the above. But after I finished the book, I realized it was about more than just me. It was about survival. It was about fighting back. And about finding the strength to keep going. Even when everything seems lost.
Sydney nods, understanding what Gale means.
What the Carpenter sisters are going through, Sydney. It's horrible. I just wish there was something I could do.
You're doing all you can, just by being here for them. And you're right, it's not just about you. It's about all of us. We're in this together.
The two women pull up to Gale's suburban home.
Nice place, Gale.
Dewey and I talked about getting a place like this before I insisted that we move to New York.
You know, I always thought you were crazy for moving to New York. But I'm glad you came back. I would have missed out on some great stories. And some great people.
Sydney says with a warm smile. Suddenly Gale's phone starts buzzing, and the call was coming from Dewey's number.
Oh God, Sid. Look, I'd never deleted Dewey's number after his death.
Gale says through her tears that are streaming down her face.
You need to answer it, Gale.
Sydney urges, putting on her authoritative tone. Gale takes a deep breath and presses the answer button.
Hello?
There's a moment of silence on the other end before a familiar sinister voice begins to respond.
Hello, Mrs. Riley. Oh, I'm sorry. Is it Miss Weathers?
You sorry piece of shit. You better hope I don't get my hands on you.
Oh, I bet you'll do some real damage. Probably more than your now dead ex-husband.
Where are you?
Right here.
Ghostface comes running out from the dark hallway, attempts to stab Sydney, who dodges the attack. Gale grabs a nearby lamp and chucks it at the killer. The lamp breaks on their back, but does not faze them. Sydney tries a shot at them, but Ghostface kicks her in the stomach, knocking her down, and they try to take advantage of the situation by going for a stab, but Gale comes charging at the killer, who opted to stab Gale instead right in the shoulder.
Gale.
Any last words before you finish signing off, Miss Weathers?
Ghostface teases out loud right in front of Sydney. He stabs at Gale a few more times in the stomach while Sydney pulls out her pistol and attempts to shoot the killer, but she barely grazes his arm.
Die, motherfucker.
Sydney shouts as she attempts another shot, but Ghostface pushes Gale's blood-soaked body into her before running out of the house and disappearing into the night. Instead of giving chase, Sydney stays with Gale, clutching her hand.
Gale? Please. Stay with me. You can't leave now.
It's okay, Sid. Get them for me. And for Dewey. Finish the story.
Gale's eyes slowly close, and her body goes limp in Sydney's arms. Sydney's heart breaks, and she shudders with grief as she rocks back and forth with Gale's lifeless body, tears flowing freely down her face.
I promise.
She whispers, before calling 911 and reporting the attack. The next day, Sydney drives Gale's car back to Mindy's place, where she was greeted by Sam, who hugs her immediately, allowing Sydney's tears to flow.
We just heard on the news, Sydney. I'm so sorry,
she says, holding her friend close.
I appreciate it, Sam. Gale went out a hero. She saved my life.
The police arrive and take Sydney's statement. They assure her that they'll do everything in their power to find the killer.
Look, Sid. Why don't you stay with us? There's safety in numbers.
You're right.
Sydney nods in agreement. Sydney spends the next few hours at Mindy's, now her brother Chad's place, trying to come to terms with Gale's death.
Where's your sister and Chad?
They're out. Tara thought it'd be a good idea for Chad to get some air while he processes Mindy's death.
So you've been here all alone?
Danny is upstairs still asleep. He had to work late due to the attack at the junkyard.
Sydney finds herself pacing around the living room, deep in thought. She can't help but feel guilty that she wasn't able to protect Gale. The news has been reporting on the attack constantly, both Gale's attack at her home and Mindy's attack at the junkyard where she was on guard duty. Suddenly Sam's phone starts buzzing, and the call is from an unknown number.
Shit, it's them.
Answer it.
Sydney tells Sam, her voice very authoritative, and Sam does as she was told.
Hello.
Hello, Samantha.
What the fuck do you want?
Sam demands through gritted teeth as Danny makes his way downstairs, entering the living room.
I'm the ghost of Christmas future, Samantha. And it's time. Time for you to accept who you are. You're a killer. Just like your father and your grandmother before you. You've taken Richie's life. And you've taken his family too.
Those sick fuckers had it coming.
And what about me, Sam? You've taken so much from me.
I'll get my partner down here.
No, not yet. Let's just hear him out.
The line goes silent for a few moments before Ghostface continues.
You know what I want, Samantha. I want you to finish what you started. Or I'll keep coming after everyone you love. Think about it. You know what you have to do.
Ghostface hangs up before Sam can say anything.
Fuck.
Sam mutters before burying her face in her hands.
What am I going to do?
You're gonna help me finish our story, Sam.
Sydney says with great confidence and determination. Suddenly, Sam gets a text from unknown number that reads,
I think it's time we have a little heart-to-heart, Sam. Meet me at where this all started. Come home. Tonight. At midnight.
Samantha didn't know what to make of the cryptic text at first, but then she came to the only conclusion that she can think of.
They must be after my mom. But Tara and I cut all ties with our mother.
Sam informs both Danny and Sydney.
Then we're gonna go with you. Together. We'll face them together.
Sydney says, her voice firm and determined. They hug each other for a long moment as they prepare to face their fate.
Well, at least we have time to train. Chad built a personal gym in the garage. We should get a workout in before we face them.
Samantha says, trying to sound confident, but it comes out as more of a question.
Don't worry, we'll be ready.
The three of them spend the rest of the day training, working on their fighting skills and honing their instincts. They spar with each other, push themselves to their limits, and try to forget about the impending danger that looms ahead. Later in the evening, at around 10:45 p.m., Danny the sheriff deputy gets a call from his partner. Apparently, there was another attack downtown that requires his attention.
Damn it. Sam. Babe, I'm sorry, but there's another attack downtown. You and Sydney are gonna have to go without me.
He informs Sam and Sydney. Samantha hugs Danny before they share a kiss.
It could be a setup, Dan. Please. Be careful.
Don't worry. I'll be fine. I love you.
I love you too. Please. Come back to me safe and sound.
She whispers before letting go of him.
All right, Sam. It's time.
Sydney says, grabbing her jacket.
You girls have everything you need?
Sam nods, her expression serious.
We're good. I always come prepared for the occasion.
Sydney hands Sam a pistol, and then she holsters hers.
All right. I'll drive.
Sydney insists, and they climb into her car. The drive to Sam's childhood home seems to take forever.
I just sent a text to Tara and Chad, letting them know what's going on and where we're going.
Good. We may need the backup. So, I hate to reopen old wounds, but I need to know what happened between you girls and your mother. It could provide some clues.
Sam starts explaining about how she came across her mom's diaries, which was how she uncovered the truth about who her real father was. After she had confronted her mother, both her stepfather had left, and she as well before cutting her mother off. After she told her sister, Tara had also cut their mother off, choosing to side with Sam.
I think I know who the ghost face is. But I hope and pray that I'm wrong.
The two ladies pull up to Christina Carpenter's house, which looks dark and ominous.
Are you ready?
Sydney asks Sam, determined.
No. But let's do this.
Sam responds, and they both get out of the car. As they approach the house, they hear a faint noise coming from inside the house.
Stay close to me.
Sydney instructs Sam, who nods nervously. They both entered the house through the oddly unlocked door. The sound was from the climate control unit. The house was warm from the heat. Suddenly, Sydney's phone starts buzzing.
Hello?
Well, hello, Sydney. I'm so glad Sam brought you along. It's fitting for our final showdown.
Look, you uninspired, unoriginal shithead. We've been through this same song and dance time and time again. So why don't you just show yourself?
Sydney demands Ghostface to make their presence, but Ghostface continues to tease Sydney.
Now where's the fun in that? We're gonna play a little game, Sydney. It's called Which Room Am I In? Can you find me, Sydney?
Okay, Sam. You stay here. Stay alert. There may be two killers.
Sydney warns Sam before continuing to search the house. Sydney, with her pistol out, readying it for a potential deadly shot at the starts to cautiously search the house.
So, what's this all about?
Sydney starts to question Ghostface in hopes that the killer will give away their location.
Would you believe good old-fashioned revenge? You and Samantha took everything away from me.
Okay. So what is it this time, huh? Daddy left you and Mommy, so he can get his rocks off with another woman. Or maybe it was Mommy who left, so she can be with a real man. Or perhaps you're just some jealous relative pissed off at the fact that their cousins are famous, and no one pays you any attention. Huh? Is that it? Did I strike a nerve?
Not at all. I was just waiting for you to hit my mark.
What?
Sydney asks, confused, and with that, Ghostface comes bursting out of the master bedroom, rushing towards Sydney, catching her off guard. Sam can hear the two wrestling around upstairs, and she was about to head up to help Sydney, but she hears the front door opening.
Samantha? What the hell are you doing here?
It's Christina Carpenter, Sam and Tara's mother.
Mom, quick. Call the cops. There's a killer in the house.
You mean killers. Sweetheart.
Christina responds as she stabs her daughter right below the ribcage.
Mom? You?
Have a seat, dear. We need to talk.
Christina leads Sam to the couch, then shoves her down, forcing her to sit. Suddenly, both Ghostface and Sydney come tumbling down the stairs, with Sydney sustaining worse injuries than her attacker, although they were minor injuries. Sydney's eyes widen as they meet with Christina's in anger and disbelief.
I knew it.
Nice to see you too, Sydney. Now, bring her to the couch.
Christina orders Ghostface, who is in possession of Sydney's pistol.
You heard the woman. To the couch.
Ghostface orders Sydney, who does what she's told.
Oh, honey. You can turn that thing off and show them who you are. I mean, it's not like they're gonna be able to tell anyone anyway.
Christina scoffs and lets out a cackle. Meanwhile, Ghostface turns off their voice box and places it on the coffee table in front of the couch, and finally they slowly but surely remove their mask and drop it on said coffee table next to the voice box. Both Sam and Sydney's eye widen big with complete shock and disbelief.
No. It can't be. I killed you.
Surprise, Sydney!
The unmasked Ghostface is revealed to be none other than Stu Mocker, the only returning killer whose face is heavily scarred and disfigured from the battle Sydney and him had 27 years ago when she dropped the TV on his head.
Mom, why?
Why? Why? You robbed me of my happily ever after, Sam. We could have gone on with our happy life as a family, but no. That wasn't good enough for you. You had to poke around through my stuff. Read my diaries.
I needed to know the truth. So did David.
Shut up, Sam. Mother is talking. Since I couldn't lead a happy life, I figured, well, why should you? Who do you think told Richie and the rest of the Kirsch family about you? And who do you think it was that started all the so-called rumors about you?
You're a sick and bitter woman, Christina.
Hey! Keep out of family matters, Sid.
Stu warns Sydney as he points the gun at her.
We still have my part in this to get to. As you were Chris.
Christina nods at Stu with a smirk.
I decided that since we don't deserve a normal life, then you and or your sister would continue your father's legacy. And that's where group comes in. Stu and I created that site to see who would be willing to help bring out the killer in you, so in a way I kind of got what I wanted.
Christina laughs maniacally as Stu gives his side of the events. He tells of his time in prison, how he managed to escape and go into hiding while maintaining contact with Christina, who was the only one there for him. Once he finishes, he goes on about the failed copycat killers.
So disappointing hearing about these wannabes dropping left and right like flies. Well, Daddy is back. And this time, you die here, Sid.
And with that, the lights go out. Sam and Sydney take advantage of the distraction and rush towards the deranged couple. The four are wrestling around for a good minute before the lights come back on. Both Christina and Stu are left dumbfounded as they look around the room to find themselves not only alone, but also unarmed. Suddenly, Christina's phone starts ringing, and the call is from an unknown number.
And they act like they're so original.
Christina says through gritted teeth before answering the call.
Hello?
Hello, mommy dearest.
Real cute, Sam. Real fucking cute.
But isn't this what you've wanted, Mother? For me to carry on Billy's legacy?
Now I want your head, Sam. Stu, start searching the house.
Christina orders Stu, who is hesitant.
Houston. There's a problem. They have the weapons. We don't.
Grab a knife from the kitchen, you idiot.
Christina yells at Stu in a mix of aggression and frustration. Stu does as he's told.
You will not win, Sam. I've learned everything from your father. Who do you think drove the getaway car during the original Woodsboro murders?
Christina does her best to make Ghostface angry, but to no avail. Meanwhile, Stu is now upstairs trying to find the two women. He stumbles upon Sam's old childhood bedroom.
Oh, Sammy! You've been a very bad girl.
Stu yells as he kicks the door in. The room appeared to be empty, but he looks at the closet which was closed. He approaches slowly but surely, he opens the door, and shock washes over his face as he sees Sydney with the gun aimed directly at Stu.
Merry Christmas, Stu.
Sydney exclaims before letting out 2 shots at Stu's right leg, causing him to fall back and immediately doing his best to apply pressure to his wounds, but failing miserably.
Oh fuck! You fucking bitch!
Stu screams out to Sydney, who takes aim at his forehead.
And to make sure you never come back. By the way, give Billy my regards.
Ooh, did you hear that, Mama? Sounds like you ruined another man's life. You're a real catch.
Bitch. Where are you?
Okay, Mother. We're gonna play a little game. You might be familiar with it since it's your favorite. Which room am I in?
Christina runs to the kitchen to grab a knife of her own.
Oh, you're so cold. But I'll help you out a little bit. You may want to avoid my bedroom, because that's where Stu met his end.
Ghostface continues to torment Christina, who grows more angry and determined to find her daughter. Christina makes her up to the master bedroom, where she can clearly see her doors are closed.
You make it too easy, Sam. Come and get me, you little whore.
Christina calls out Sam, who catches her mother off guard by rushing out from her old bedroom, causing the 2 women to tumble down the stairs, which caused both of them to drop their knives. Both women are winded and sustain minor injuries, but both catch a glance at each other before dragging their injured bodies to their weapon of choice. It's an intense race between the 2, with Christina seemingly reaching her knife first. With the rush of adrenaline kicking in, she gets up and immediately goes for the kill, but to her surprise, Sam was ready. She avoids her mother's deadly blow by rolling over, then quickly follows up by stabbing Christina right below the rib cage and twisting the knife slightly before pulling it out, so Sam can stab her murderous mother a few more times in the stomach.
Merry Christmas, Mom.
Sam tells her dying mother, who is coughing up a lot of blood.
Oh. By the way, Mother. Someone else wants to say goodbye to you.
Christina manages to look past Sam to see Tara emerge from the dark hallway.
Hey, Mom. You know you should really get those breakers checked.
Tara teases.
Let her have it, sis.
Tara encourages Sam, and with that Sam kisses her mother on the forehead before stabbing her in the heart.
Good night, Mom.
She whispers as she feels the life leave Christina's body.
You okay, Sam?
Tara asks with concern in her eyes. Sam drops her knife as she gets back to her feet, then hugs her younger sister.
Yes, Tara. I'll be fine. How about you? Are you okay?
Sam checks on Tara, who shakes her head.
I don't know. I'm gonna need a whole lot of therapy.
Tara jokes. Sydney makes her way downstairs, and as soon as she touches down, she heads towards the girls.
Sam, don't forget.
Sydney tries to warn as Christina awakes for her last scare, but Sam quickly pulls out the pistol Sydney had given her to deliver the headshot to Christina, ending her misery for good.
Always go for the head.
Please tell me it's finally over.
Tara pleads as Chad enters the house from the front door, which Tara notices, and immediately runs to her love, where the 2 share a very passionate hug and kiss.
Well, if what your mom says is true, about her and Stu being the masterminds that influenced Amber, Richie, and the other Kirsch family members, then it would appear that you girls finally get your happy ending.
Sydney says as sirens can heard approaching the house. There were 2 sheriff cruisers and a medic. Sam can see Danny, the sheriff deputy, her knight in shiny armor, walking up to the door, so she makes her way with a slight limp to her love, hugging him tight before the 2 share a kiss. Danny notices Sam's wound and helps her get to the medic.
Come on, Sam. Let's get you patched up while you give your statement.
Sam nods, feeling relieved to be in the arms of her protector. Moments later, after the police took all witness statements, gathered all the evidence, and the coroners collected the 2 lifeless corpses of the 2 Ghostface killers, the group of friends are gathered up back at Chad's house, celebrating their survival and the lives of their fallen loved ones. Chad pours out some shots and raises his glass for a toast.
Just want to say, thank God we're all here. Safe and sound. This is for the Core 4. For my sister Mindy. And for Gale. May they rest peacefully knowing that we finally finished the story.
Hear, hear.
Danny shouts in agreement before the group take their shots. The party lasts deep into the night and well into the next morning. Everyone seems to be enjoying themselves, telling stories, laughing, and having a great time. As the party starts to wind down, Sam, who is still on cloud nine from surviving this ordeal, decides to slip away from the crowd and find someplace quiet to talk to Danny. She leads him outside by the pool, and as they sit down on a lounger, she looks up at him with a mischievous glint in her eye.
So, Danny, I was wondering.
About what?
He asks, leaning forward slightly. He's not quite sure where she's going with this, but he's intrigued.
Well, I've been thinking about everything that happened, and how you were always there for me, protecting me.
She pauses, looking down at her hands.
I just want you to know that I'm really grateful for you.
Her voice trails off, and she bites her lip nervously. Danny feels a warmth spread through his chest at her words. He looks into her eyes and sees a depth of emotion that he's never seen before. He takes her hand in his and gives it a squeeze.
Sam. I felt the same way. For a long time. I'm glad I could be there for you.
He leans in closer, their faces mere inches apart. And, he whispers,
So as long as you'll have me as your man, I will always be there for you.
Their lips meet in a tender kiss, one that speaks of all the emotions they've been feeling since this nightmare began. They embrace, holding each other close, reveling in the feeling of being safe and loved. As they kiss, Danny can feel Sam's body relax against his, her fear and pain melting away in the warmth of his embrace. He breaks the kiss after what feels like an eternity, looking deep into her eyes.
You know, I think I'm going to enjoy being your boyfriend very much.
Sam smiles up at him.
Merry Christmas, babe.
And a very Merry Christmas to you, my love.
He replies with a warm smile. The rest of the night passes in a blur of laughter and joy. Sam suddenly had one last vision of her father Billy, who nods at her with approval, as if he's letting her know that not only did she do well, but it would be the last time he makes his presence felt.
What are you looking at, babe?
Oh. It's nothing, baby. Just picturing our future together,
she says with a reassuring grin. They rejoin the group to continue their celebration, looking forward to live their best lives. For now.
Now time for me to take my last breath. Lord knows I'm nowhere near done yet. So much to be told from this old soul. So come on now, let's go. Not time for me to take my last breath. Lord knows I'm nowhere near done yet. So much to be told from this old soul. So come on now, let's go. You're now witnessing that Green Ranger discipline. You know I'm insane in the brain, like my name is Bruce Wayne. I'm a fighter, hate survivor, soul of the dragon with the eye of the tiger. Yeah, I'm a dead man walking, but I keep on rocking. Clock is ticking, no rest for the wicked. So it's time for me to kick it. Got to bend it like Beckham.